Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you for allowing me to be part of your day, guys. I appreciate it, as I know you know that I appreciate it. So thank you so much. Guys, what are you eating? Like, I don't have an appetite, but I did have a steak sandwich, so that might have been the reason why. Homemade steak sandwich. It was pretty good. But I'm not hungry now. Guys, seems like I'm pissing a lot of people off. So let's continue onward. So, how dare anybody honestly question or make Wade Wilson's bio dad a target? I just, how dare somebody tell somebody how to raise their kid, what they should or shouldn't have done, what they're willing to give up, what they're not willing to give up. How dare somebody? Wade Wilson, grown-ass man, 25 years old, when he committed those two heinous acts of unaliving two women. For no reason. He wasn't trying to rob them. There was no self-defense. It was just, doesn't she look attractive in my fingers? I could wrap my fingers around her neck. That's Wade. That's Wade. And anybody that is supporting Wade Wilson, please spend one night with him outside of jail. Please go into jail and spend a night with him. However you want to live your life by supporting a convicted murderer who he himself confessed. He himself confessed. But there are people, Team Wade, that are more worried about him getting his teeth fixed than the two women he unalived. And you have to ask yourself, what the fuck is wrong with them? Taking the money that could be used to better the situation and wanting to put a new smile on Prince Charming's grill. Like, come on, seriously? Mr. Smacky Face? What are you going to do about his tattoos, his charming tattoos? Guys, he was in love with Mila. You know that, right? He was in love with Mila, but he still hit her. He still punched her so hard that he was impressed she stood there. Like Muhammad Ali or Floyd Mayweather. You know that, right? I mean, he said that out of his own mouth, but you still find him to be Prince Charming, and you want to attack his biological dad, who is telling you guys, please, don't waste your time on my son. Like, don't waste your time on my son. He's bad news. He's got to find himself. What you guys are doing is wrong. This Wade army, it's wrong. There's two unalived people that have family that are watching this. How disgraceful, how in bad taste is that? How bad is that? What does that say about you people? And then you want to bitch at this man who is now a grown adult. But at 14 years old, he impregnated somebody. 14, he was a kid. He impregnated somebody. At 15 years old, Wade was born. And there was one mistake after another mistake. And ultimately, Wade was adopted by a loving family. A family that helped him, a family that nurtured him, a family that only saw good in him. But that's not what Wade saw. See, Wade saw things a different way. As most teenagers, they think they know it all. These people tried. And then his biological dad, when his son reached out to him at 18 years old, his biological dad didn't hang up the phone. He could have done that. He could have said, yo, man, I have nothing to do with you. I don't even know who you are. I was a sperm donor. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. He was there for his son. Maybe he wasn't there all the time. We don't know his situation. But he was there for his son. And you know how we know he was there for his son? Because Wade kept calling him. And those people aren't going to call people if they don't answer the phone. So we know. We know that Steve was there for his son Wade. We also know that he ended every phone call that we heard with, I love you, son. I love you, son. And then when he tried to give his son advice by saying, hey, shut up, you're not looking good. You are not looking good in the public eye, son. And this is not the way you handle your trial. This is not the way you handle your case. Wade accused him of him not wanting anybody in Wade's life. Nobody in Wade's life. Well, we clearly know that that's not true, because he wanted the adopted family in Wade's life. He has nothing but respect for the adopted family, for the people that raised his son. Nothing but respect for. He says they're good people. Wade bashed Candy. Candy was his adopted mom. A woman that took him in, loved him as their own. Loved him as their own. And yet Wade said nasty shit. And then he said to his dad, she really ain't all that bad. And his dad said, yeah, I know. I didn't believe any of that shit you were saying. I know how they loved you. They love the fuck out of you, Wade. Wade said, yeah, I know. I know. That wasn't enough to change him. That wasn't enough to make his black heart red and his black heart to beat. That wasn't enough. And you guys are going to blame Wade Wilson's dad, his bio dad, for not showing up for his son the way you wanted him to show up. What was that? To give him a ticket to go to Mexico after he unalived 2 women? Like, that's what you would do? Well, his dad doesn't think he's all that good looking, apparently. His dad ain't trying to sleep with him, apparently. But if that's what it takes for you guys, I would take a look at you guys. If just one good look, one handsome guy, you think a guy is handsome or charming, so did Christine Melton. So did Christine Melton that night. She thought she was going to have some fun with a handsome, charming guy who, while she slept, took her life. That's your Wade Wilson, guys. That's your Wade Wilson. So when I see people beating up on Steve, and Steve saying, hey, listen, when it started coming out, I was going to be there for my son. I was going to get my son. I was going to help my son until he started telling me the situation. And until his adrenaline got kicked in, and I heard what he was saying and the way he was saying it, I thought to myself, no, I can't. I would have to throw everything away. And when Steve says that, he's talking about his children. He's talking about his wife. He's talking about his family. That he worked hard from his own prison experience. He worked hard to get his life straight so that he could provide for his family and be there for his family. So because he had sex as a kid with another kid, you guys in your Wade world community thought he should just fucking throw his life away for the son that he never abandoned. He never abandoned his son. You think that somebody owes somebody that? Really? You really think? Well, then, let me ask you a question in Wade's army. What the fuck do you think you owe the people that he unalived? What do you think you owe Diane Ruiz's child? What do you think you owe that son? What do you think you owe Christine Melton's father or cousin or best friend? What do you think you owe them? If you think that Steve owed Wade his life, what do you think Wade owes the people that he took their lives from? What does he owe their families? What do you owe them? Take the money out of the fucking account that you have to save Wade Wilson and give it to the families so that they might be able to get some help for themselves. You women look desperate. I assume you can't get a guy on the outside, and that's why you're on the inside trying to get Wade. You can't share him. And trust me, he ain't going nowhere except to old Sparky. Or to a nice little vein in his arm. Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. Yeah, and this is the shit that pisses me off. Because this is not... This is just pathetic. It's pathetic that grown women that think they are something else, that some of them really even sound articulate, can be so fucking stupid in the head. I mean, so what? It's just by chance that the two women he ran into within those 24 hours are unalived? It just so happens his DNA was all over the place. Why? And you want to believe this gigantic conspiracy of bullshit because of his face? Take a good look at his face. Take a good look at it. Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. Tell me what you think and listen to a little bit of this. We'll see you next time, guys. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Always be kind, guys. Thanks. Bye.
The relationship my son and I had, I get, oh, that motherfucker ain't done shit for me, blah, blah, blah. Listen, anybody who knows us and knows our story, they know that's a lie. And I get it. He's telling, that's his motive, trying to get sympathy. But you notice how quick he said, I don't want to talk about that no more. But he knows the truth. I know the truth. His parents know the truth. Rosemary knows the truth. My wife knows the truth. Kelly knows the truth. Everybody knows the truth because anybody that was in his life for any amount of time that we were communicating together, they know everything I've done for him. So I don't even take that personal. I get why he said that. It's fine. And I felt like at that moment, there was no other option. Because the way he was so excited about talking to me about it, it broke my heart. And I knew, if I get there and take him, he had nowhere to go anyway. I don't even know, had I went to pick him up, where the hell am I going to take him? But he had nowhere to go, nothing. And I knew if he was able to get away from that house and move along, that there would have been plenty of other people that would have suffered.